night ops. Yeah, it's Friday night. This is the job that I volunteered for. It's still there, yay! Oh, no. Don't get too excited. It'll fall. Anyway. I was watching my last video and I got inspired by my own shit, a story from the military. Now, I had been stationed at Fort Hood and I had an actual responsibility there. You know, I was a unit armor, you know, I owned this job, right? Owned it. It was like my life's blood. I would literally take my job home with me. They would close up the office, and me and my laptop and a 12-pack of beer would be sitting there working. At home. Keeping up with all of the shit that needed to be done. Paperwork. Data entry. Processing. 2062s, getting ready for a range and accountability and all that shit. Anyway, so I came down on orders for Germany and I was like, woo, finally a change of scenery, right? And I was excited about it in a way, you know? I was like, yeah. Well, then last minute, my orders for the unit that I was supposed to go to changed. And then I was pissed. Because the unit that I was supposed to go to, within like 6 months, they were supposed to deploy again. I was all for it. Well, apparently they came down with some fucked up regulation where I had to have 11 months of downtime, recovery, shit. Well, you're moving me within my downtime. So what fucking difference does it make? Right? Whatever. Anyway, so they moved me to this other fucking unit. And I'm mad. I'm like, I don't want to fucking go there. I want to go to this big one. I don't want to go to this puny fucking little, you know, pissant fucking unit up in the mountains of Baumholder. I want to go somewhere established. I moved barracks rooms 5 times. Not by choice. Before I even deployed. Before we even deployed, I was packing up my room and moving it. 3 buildings, 5 different rooms. Toxic work environment here is a fucking piece of cake. And the bullshit malarkey that I dealt with over there. So anyway, the first couple of months that I was there, the unit hadn't even been established. I guess they had moved from somewhere to this base, whatever. Anyway. And, we didn't even have trucks. We had nothing. That's how I got those shelves. They were cleaning out the hangar that we got assigned to do our operations out of. Anyway, so here I am, NCO, single, older than everybody there, and we got up, we got formation, we did PT, we got cleaned up, we went back, we did our little platoon thingy, and we're sitting in the office and there's nothing. There's no computers, there's no paperwork, there's no truck assignments, because there's no trucks. There's no agenda. There's nothing on the board to do. Nothing. We're standing there, sitting in this one little teeny fucking office. We have literally 5 trucks that we got handed over to us from the unit that had left. It was basically, those are installation vehicles. So we had like one LMTV, a couple of Humvees, and a Fresh. Fucking. And Fresh is basically a giant fucking toolbox on wheels. It's got everything you could need to fix a truck with. Anyway, or most everything. So, I asked my platoon sergeant, who was about 12 years old inside his head, I was like, so what do we got going on today? I don't know, I'm waiting on a directive. Don't they have a fucking meeting? Like, every night and every morning after PT? Before we even fucking get here? That gives you an idea of what to fucking do? What we're supposed to do? To hand down to your NCOs so we know what to fucking do? Right? So I was like, yeah, okay. So I was like, I gotta go take a piss. So I went to the bathroom, took a bed, and then diverted myself back out to the parking lot, got in my little ratty, no, actually I had bought my Jeep by then, got in my Jeep, and went back down to my barracks room. And he said, I get a text message like 2.5 hours later. Where are you at? I said, barracks room. What are you doing? I said, waiting on a directive. He hung up on me. I fucking was pissed. He was pissed. We don't like this run. How do I have 51 minutes? Jesus. Was I even recording? Hold on. Oh, good. I was. Anyway. So, the thing with, that unit, it was so fucked up. We had major fucking issues in that unit when I first got there, and then in the middle of it, we started to have fucking issues. We had a lieutenant. See, I was like 44 years old, and I had come from a combat arms unit where they PT'd us to death. I was broken. I was very much. Shoulders were messed up. I had ganglion cysts in my wrists from push-ups. I mean, they were huge and they were painful. I had to go get them drained. They were fucking awful. Yeah, just a shitstorm of fucking medical issues. Not ill, like I'm whining because I got a fucking cold. I was like, my knees were busted. I mean, they were literally like inflamed, like I couldn't even walk. We were trying to do PT, and I was literally, I was doing stuff like one-legged. My first sergeant was laughing at me. He's like, you are fucking incredible. It's like, hey, you know what? Lead by example, right? It's like, well, here you go. Anyway, push-ups lifting one leg off the ground, so only holding myself up with the leg that I could stand to put the weight on. Yeah, that kind of shit. Anyway, and I had a major back, it's like a herniated disc in my back that the facility at Fort Hood could not, they didn't do shit for me. But when I got over to Germany, they were able to fix me eventually. And so there was this one lieutenant, and I don't know where this guy came from. He must have watched way too many, like, war movies or something. And so he was, like, barking at me while we were running. And I said to him, "Sir, has anybody ever told you need to respect your elders?" Fucking shut up. I had to go to my commander because my commander said something to me to the fact. I was like, you know what? I'm fucking broken. This guy's been in the military 5 minutes. He doesn't know shit about what's going on with me. And you're lucky I'm even standing out here without a P3 profile. Yeah. Tell him he ain't a fucking NCO. He just run. That's all he gotta do. He just gotta keep his fucking feet moving. He ain't gotta be barking shit at me. He ain't my fucking drill sergeant. And I got more time and grade than he's got in the fucking army. Piss off. So anyway. Salary. Military is paid by salary. You're paid 24 hours a day, 7 days. If I had added up what I was earning in the military, it's just pitiful. If you go by the hours, because they could call you out of the rack at any given moment. I love the Army and I love the structure of it, because it used to be. Pretty much everybody was on the same fucking standard. Now it's, oh, he's sensitive. Yeah, one of them kind of fucking deals. Fuck your fucking feelings. Anyway, and I still have that kind of fuck your fucking feelings now. I mean, there's people I get on them. Fuck your fucking feelings. Driving like an asshole, knock it off. This isn't a race. It's a project. You cannot rush perfection. You cannot rush quality. We've got a certain quota that we need to make in order to maintain the integrity of the job. But by no means do you have to drive like a complete douche in order to do that. You don't need to perform your job like a fucking douche either in order to do that. The problem with this particular thing is that the guys that work out of this plant, even my buddy, one of my buddies, I got several. Most of my friends are guys. Yeah, some are married, some are single. They're, we all like brother, sister kind of thing. Anyway, he says to me one day, he goes, "I fucking hate it down here." And I'm like, "Why? What's up?" He goes, "These guys, what's wrong with them? They are a completely different breed of fucking human." I said, "Really?" He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "It's all about them. They don't fucking care about each other. They don't care about shit. It's all about them." Attitude. I'm like, how does anybody live in any kind of peaceful existence like that? I understand that worrying about other people is a little stressful. But given principle, who wants to live so much in their own fucking head that they get in someone else's way and then has to hear somebody yell at them for being in the way. Do they have a conscience at all? And the guy's like, no. I'm like, oh, good times. And yeah, he's not joking. The run-in that I had that other night when the guy was pouring in my AO, he works down here. This is his home base. I gave him shit. You don't pour in my fucking AO. I'll pour on top of your damn fender. Prove a fucking point. If you are close enough for me to pour on your fucking fender, you're too close. Period. So we're almost there. We only made it with one phone drop. Boop. Anyway. This is a pump. Which means they gon' pour it wet. I'm gonna see if I can con the batch guy to drop in an extra 30 gallons on me. Because it will tighten up by the time I get there. And I don't want to have to use my tank water. If I can help it. And it's very likely that the guys that are needing to be down here for this job tonight won't show up. They'll call in. They don't care. So that's a lot of the reason why, you know, yeah, go ahead and schedule me. Don't tell anybody that I'm coming. Because if they know that I'm going to be here, they'll call in. Oh, well, he's got them coming down. I don't need to be there. Yeah, there's 3 of us. First 3 at the plant. We're all volunteers. We're gonna get this party started. Alright. Fucking A. Might very well tag me and fucking ticket before anybody else. Alright, we're gonna get off here and go in and bullshit with the manager and we'll continue this later. Round 1! Woo-hoo! Well, I'm returning back to my home station after this one. And we didn't even get started. And the batch guy is like, yeah, we got water issues again. We're moving this over to the other plant. After a couple rounds, we may not even make it a couple rounds, so I gotta see how it's acting. So they started doing some math. 321 plus thousand pounds of water is what we need in order just to accommodate the batching. He doesn't even have 5,600 pounds in the tank. So we're having to conserve water, so washing the truck is secondary to getting the slump right. And of course you got tanks that got to get filled, the water tanks, in order to slump when we get there, because we got to roll out on the ticket and then we got to adjust it again when we get there. And he's going to run out of water. This is not the first time. So this plant has always had issues. Always. The first issue that they had was the product. We were using this different sand. Well, the sand was, it was gross. It was horrible texture. And I complained about it since day one because it would pack my truck. It's sticky, right? Well, they had to do a job. What the fuck was it? I can't even remember exactly what kind it was, but it was an exposed type of thing. And it had, it was supposed to be a small stone exposed, I think. And the sand was it was always a weird color. And even old girl said one day, she's like, what color is their sand? And it was basically orange. It was fucking orange, right? And so I was like, orange, you know, she was on the radio saying something. It's hinky sand. Anyway, they did that sand in a small stone exposed batch. And of course send the stuff to spray on it. So the top layer washes off. And when they washed it off, it had pea gravel, like 1/4 and 1/2 inch speckles of pea gravel in it. And that plant does not have pea gravel at all. They don't do pea gravel from that plant. So, yeah. We ended up, we ended up eating an entire driveway. Because we had to tear it out. And then it had to get re-poured, batching out of one of the other plants that could accommodate because of that sand. Because the sand was contaminated. So we no longer use their sand. Part of the contract for the actual plant being in that quarry. That we, you know, had this contract to use their sand. Yeah. Shit is gnarly. We do way too many decorative types of contracts where they're really, really particular. Like our batch guy, he doesn't remember where he sends us, he just loads us. So, for example, we have a batch that's like 20% pea gravel, 80% small stone. And I'll come back from a job where it was a small stone batch. And he'll be like, don't forget to reach your bowl. And I'll look at the ticket and I'll be like, I'm good. I just came from a small stone. And I backwashed. Oh, alright. It's like, you're getting pea gravel. I said, yeah, it's 80% small stone. I'm good. I said, now if it was 100% pea gravel, then yeah, I'd rinse it out. Absolutely. So that's part of the responsibilities of being a good driver, a good concrete mixer operator, is knowing what your batches are, what you poured before, and what you're getting next, and knowing whether or not it's necessary to clean out your bowl so you don't cross-contaminate the batches. But that particular sand was so contaminated that it wasn't the driver's fault. It wasn't the batcher's fault. It was the product. And considering that everyone's been bitching about that product anyway, it just goes for saying, are you listening to us now? I'm trying to tell you, shit is crap. It's gonna compromise the integrity of our material, our product, our quality. And it did. See, they don't want to be proactive. They got to be reactive. And it's like, you got to get proof that it's bad. There's your fucking proof. $30,000 worth of concrete has to get tore out because the shitty product that no one wanted to listen to us about failed the quality of the job. Crazy we got. What fresh hell awaits? Woo-woo. So yeah, I'm gonna start batching for this out of there. It's not that much of a difference. It took me 17 minutes and I started my clock late. Probably about 21 minutes, 22 minutes to get here from that plant, whereas the other plant, we have like unlimited water supply. Everything works, and we have better product. We ain't gotta deal with a glitchy batcher and funky sand and fucked up water issues. Saturday morning, so rush hour ain't gonna be too bad. Yeah, we got wiggle room. Alright. So yeah. Who's pumping it? Please be Brundage. Please be Brundage. I've never worked for them, but they are like my favorite. I fucking love them. I just do. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna let you go on this one because there ain't nothing to see here. Same shit, different day, basket. Say again. Oh, fuck, it's them. Alright, well, it ain't Brundage. Alright, well, okay. Pray it's peaceful. That's all. Okay. Rail dispatch had to change planes. So he decided to send me back to here, to the hellhole, for one more round. Then he's sending me down to the home station. We're routing it down there. Yeah, the batch guy is like, yes, I'm leaving here. So he's going to be going down there anyway. My home station's batch manager was like, I don't know who the hell they're going to have down here tomorrow. I got that on the board. And I don't know who they plan to put down here. So they've got a job that's scheduled for 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if it's going. I don't know. It looked like it was shored up yesterday, but it's 1:30 in the morning. Who the fuck is down there? But yeah, he's gonna be going down there to take care of us out of that plant. So he probably should get his ass going. Get shit turned on. Get that first bunch started at 2 o'clock pour. Yeah. Railroad tracks. They suck. Anyway. So yeah, we're going on to round 2. No worries. But yeah, he adjusted my water for me, so I'm playing slope control tonight. I do it anyway. I don't have to. No one needs to tell me to fucking communicate with the batch guy to let him know. Yeah, you're that much water made it this. Adjust accordingly. So I left here and I had to slump it with the wash down thing, and another set of tracks. There we go. And it took me a minute to get off the arc, and then I did. I had to when I got back to this plant, I had used almost 90 gallons of water. That included slumping it when I got there to get it down to where they want it, on top of slumping it before I left to get it to where the ticket was, and washing down. I was down 90 gallons. I never am down 90 gallons typically, but he's like messing with water, not to mention that this plant is going to run out of water anyway. They're not going to make. Yeah, we can do 2 or 3 rounds, and then the pump has to move. So that gives us a little bit of wiggle room. So by the time I get down there, the pump will be starting to set up again. So I'm going to do this one. And then I'm going to route down to home station. And then they're going to put me in the lineup. I'm going to get loaded, come back down here. By the time I get back down here, the pump will have moved and set back up. For my 3rd round. Strategy. So yeah, he's like, when you get to the job, call me and tell me what the slump is when you get there, so I know what we're working with. I was like, well, it's only a 3-minute difference between travel times, so we'll adjust fire from there down to here. So anyway. One of the other drivers just got on the clock. Her and there was a bunch of them that weren't back yet when I left, and I was pushing like it was like 12:30, and for me to start at 11, I got to be done by 1. Like, literally, I've got to be done at 1 o'clock. Or a little bit earlier, because I usually clock in about 10 minutes till. And so she just got on the clock at about probably 1 o'clock. So shit, they must have pause this, get there. I'm kind of, I got nothing left to talk about right now. Oh, trust me. I should probably turn it around and ASMR ya to my job. These rogue fucking spontaneous combustive fucking red lights. I mean, we got like 6 lights that we have to stop for. Yeah, this thing didn't even, I'm starting it late. That dead zone. We got a dead zone where the tablet doesn't communicate and I get messages like after the fact. I'll already be on the highway heading north and I'll get a message, go back to where you came from. Get off the fucking exit and turn around. Oh, this poor guy. He's trying to cross the road. This is the worst fucking area to be. They need to do something for foot traffic because this is bad. I don't even think they got a thing out there. He's gonna be playing Frogger. Oh, it's a good time when we're on nights. Me and one of the drivers, he was coming down from Portland to help us out. And by the time he got down to my plant, I was already on the job. You know, I'd already started. I was on my way back when he was getting loaded. So we were talking on the phone and we were sitting there bullshitting. And I was like, whereabouts are you? And he's like, I'm just getting on the highway. And I said, from which exit? He said that loopy-doo thing off of. And I said, well, I'm just passing Old Hickory. And I tooted at somebody. He goes, no, that wasn't me. I said, where are you at? He goes, I'm coming up. I'm just getting to about where Old Hickory is now. And just as we passed each other, we honked at the same time. It sounded like a fucking train coming through. We hit the fucking buttons at the same time. Bonk, bonk. He was going one way, I was going the other. And then on my way home from there, there was it was another concrete company mixer operator. He was in a mixer. There was an empty lane between us. We were both like our noses were even, rolling down the highway. And we were sitting, he was like, beep, beep. I was like, toot. And we were like waving at each other. You know, big family. Doesn't matter what company you work for. If you do this job, it's a clique. We're a big clique. It's like a big, you know. It's a big army. It's that camaraderie thing. Good times. Ugh, here we go. They're finally paving this area right here a while back. Hey, there's my other buddy. It was so fucking lumpy. Everything on my dash in my truck was fucking falling. Shit up there was falling out. You know. Red light. And also, this job is all uphill. We struggle with hills so badly. And it's like the torque or the compression or whatever in these engines is so freaking inconsistent. It's like, one day I'd be driving down the road and I'll go up that hill at 35 miles an hour, and the next day it can barely pull it at 25. Same amount of fucking concrete. There ain't no the automatic regen mechanism on these trucks. It's like that 35-mile-an-hour day might have been the regen acting. Or vice versa. 25 is when the regen was acting. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway. Almost to the highway. Yeah. It takes like 15 minutes to get to the highway. The other plant, it's literally 2 minutes around the corner. Done. On the highway. Gone. No more lights. 6 lights later. This hell. It doesn't make any sense. They do this the wackiest shit. And you know what? It is what it is. But anyway. Oh yeah. We're in good shape slump-wise. Yeah. Alright. We'll get this compiled and I'll see you on the far side. Have a great weekend. So apparently my dispatcher can't make up his mind where he wants me. Let's see. We're gonna mix it a little bit. So yeah, he sent me back down here to the hellhole. Round 3. I confirmed with the batch guy when I got to the job. He had added an extra 30 gallons of water to me for my last batch. Now we're just mixing it to see if it's gonna settle down. It doesn't look like it. We're gonna have to, yeah, it's gonna do 30. He'll probably call me or text me or something. There. That sounds better. Yep. I don't even need to honk anymore. He knows. Yep. Wait a minute. See what we got. Yep, it's a perfect 5 this time. So I'm gonna have to add a lot, but I'm not topping off my water tank. I'll do it the next round. Give me a reason to actually fill the fucking thing. Yeah. Because I got wacky flap syndrome. Let me jump out here and let him know that it's... Yeah. It'll travel better. I won't have to be as nervous about the lights. Good Lord, that took forever. Yeah, it's a perfect 5. Yep. So yeah, his batch, the batching system, the water fill is what we're having issues with. Something is not filling. So he needs like 300 gallons a minute, and he's only getting like 100 a minute in order to accommodate everything that we got going on here. It's not running the way it's supposed to. So he's been trying to adjust our batches to eliminate us. Like most of us, like I'm on a quarter tank of fuel. I'm down 30 gallons in my tank, my water tank, and I don't fill my water tank after every job if it's above 150 gallons in the tank. It's pointless. Why? I'm probably only going to use, on an average, for this job here, I can get away with probably 30 gallons per load. It's like slumping it, washing down everything. Now, the first time he had loaded me a little on the dry side. I tried slumping it from the ground. I got to the job. I still had to add water. So, even if I add en route, I take note of how much I actually add. It's completely different than what I put on the ticket. And the reason why is because I may add 10 on the way to the job to maintain the ticket slump, but end up having to add 40 when I get there in order to get it to what they want to pour it out on. I don't count that 10. However, I tell him exactly what I did and how I did it so he can adjust in his head how to batch the next truck. How much water to add. So when I got loaded, he loaded me on the same mechanism that he had done on the first time for me, and then he ended up adding another 40 on top of it, and it came out right on a 5. Whereas the batch before that, he had added 30 on it, and it came out as a 7. No, it doesn't make sense. But in order to keep him in the know of what's going on with the water with these batches, he can add accordingly. Get it down to perfect. Most of the time. So this time when he added that, I went in and I said, now it's perfect. It's on a ticket. It's on the ticket slump. Whereas before, it was a little on the wet side, but that's not that critical because they pour it on the fucking wet side. So who gives a shit? There's less I'll have to do when I get to the fucking job. You know, that kind of thing. So yeah. Communication is key, and I appreciate that about this guy. Because it's like, if he can keep his drivers happy with the way he's batching, 1, the night goes smoother, 2, less bitchiness, and night goes faster too, for that matter. They're not having to wash down their vehicle as much. They're not having to refill their tanks as much. You know, all that. It burns a lot of extra fuel when you have to sit and high spin the truck to slump the load when you get to the job. So the closer to their pouring slump within testing, passing the test. So if you can get us between a 6 and a 7, we don't have to high spin it so long, we don't burn as much fuel. People aren't having to fill their fuel tanks as soon either. There's a lot of shit into play with this. So, anywho, yeah. And then he actually pulled our people that got off late yesterday that are assigned to this project typically on nights. They got off late, so they couldn't come in until like fucking 1 in the morning to give them 10 hours off. So they're on their way down. One of them's on the job right now. The other 3 are, well, no, she's pouring. The other 3 behind her are on the job. And then a bunch that are from out of this plant, they're en route. And one of the guys loaded out of the other plant, but he's going back there. He's going to return back there. The rest of us are coming back here. Somehow this manager just keeps finding water. I want to smack him. It's like, stop finding it. We want to go to 3. We want to get out of here. We don't want to be down here. He just laughed. He's like, I'm just trying to make everybody happy. I said, well, break your plan so we can go load out of there and you make everybody happy. Can't do that. It's already broken. The water thing is so bad. This has been an ongoing problem. First it was the sand, now it's the fucking water. Never ends. Anyway, that is all. This is what we deal with on nights. This is what we deal with during the day even. Trying to get the slump right for these great big loads. I mean, it's 550 yards. We're on 300 and something. We're doing pretty good. I mean, as far as time goes, it's 2:30 in the morning. So, yeah, that ain't bad. And, yeah, I've used a little bit less fuel than I typically would if I was running these out of the other plant. Because on my 4th load back to that other plant, I would have to fill up. Have to. I would literally become rolling into the yard on fumes. So, yeah, that 5 miles makes a difference in the fuel expenditure, but the route is easier, less bumpy, smoother, no lights. Good with bad. In any case, alright y'all, have a great weekend.